My goodness, this award season is so much more fun than last year's. There was an incredibly memorable SAG Awards last night, and I think the implications are huge, so we need to talk about them. Welcome back to Archer Vision, presented by MovieArcher.com and the Movie Archer Podcast Network. My name is Nico, and yes, we are going to be going over the SAG Award winners today, my reactions to the winners, my personal opinions on the winners, and how I think it's going to impact the Oscars, which are just 2 weeks away. Let's quickly just go through stunts. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning wins. They announced it on the carpet, which, I hate that they do this to them, but, shout out to them. It's Tom Cruise. It's the stunt team. The stunts are that film. Well-deserved. That's it. Sean Penn wins supporting actor. After that BAFTA win, it felt very likely. He felt like the obvious winner earlier in the year, then none of us did it. The critics groups weren't doing it. Globes, Critics' Choice, and then BAFTA said, yes, it's Sean Penn giving this showy villain performance in the Best Picture favorite. This is going to happen, and here it is. I feel like we're in a world where we need to give Sean Penn his third. No, but we are, so it's fine. Let's actually move on to another category that does feel sewn up already. Jessie Buckley wins Best Actress. She is the sweeper. Let's get the brooms out. She's won everything. She's going to win the Oscar, and I could not be happier. And yet I do kind of feel bad for her, not actually, because she's an incredible actress person. She's winning awards. She could care less what I'm about to say, but because she's become the sweeper, and it's a very deserving win. Believe me, I love this win. She's been the winner every time, so unfortunately the actress category is less exciting to predict, and there's less mystery around it going into the Oscar night. So if you're a fan of Jessie Buckley like me, you're really loving this, but it's kind of status quo. If you're not a fan of Jessie Buckley and want someone else to win this category, you're having a terrible time with this category this season. Very glad she's winning all these awards. I'm very glad she's getting her flowers. Incredible actor. It's just, not the most exciting thing to talk about this season anymore. Now let's get into the two that really shook things up and rocked the world last night. First, we have Amy Madigan wins for Weapons, and I have to say, I am so angry I did not predict this. Right there was the most SAG thing ever. I also say it in my prediction video. I was going off the recency bias for BAFTA, which every year a lot of us say we're going to not follow the show that just happened before, but I fell into it. The SAG voting was still happening the week after BAFTA. I'm like, they're going to go for Wound Me, and they just did. It was the only pick. I was Amy Madigan away from having a perfect prediction pool, but it's okay. Shout out to Amy Madigan. Really nice win. Can she win the Oscar? A lot of people are going to say yes, because A, the recency bias, like I said, and B, the Oscar voting is happening right now, I believe, and the industry loves her. Her peers love her. The speech was pretty solid, and it's such a career win, and it's the showiest, biggest, most transformative performance in the category. I don't know what I'm doing for the Oscar yet, because Wunmi Musaku and Tana Taylor, they're in the 1 and 2 for Best Picture favorites, and you would imagine a supporting performance comes along with the Best Picture win, whichever one has it, and yet I'm sitting here still scratching my head about Madigan, and yet one of those two could have won tonight. And clearly the love for Madigan, the love by her peers, the actors are the largest voting body. They wanted to go for Amy Madigan. Once again, a very SAG thing. So you could write it off as just a SAG win, but Amy Madigan has Critics' Choice too. SAG being so close to Oscar voting, that room was very, very strong last night for her win. Can she ride this out? Is the strength of the performance so strong? The showy, transformative, chaotic, crazy villain performance, kind of like Sean Penn. Can this do it? It's crazy because I went with my gut in the next category. I went away from my gut in this category. I'm trying to think about what the Oscars are going to do. I think you have to bet on Wunmi or Taylor, but wow, this Amy Madigan SAG win might have a lot of momentum. And now that we're seeing SAG last, we're going to see does this actually have an effect? Last few years, we're so used to the supporting categories feeling like sweepers, and it's the same person every time. So at least going into Academy Awards night, we have kind of a 50-50 or a 33-33-33. But let's move to the biggest one. Michael B. Jordan wins Best Actor for Sinners. This win was awesome. I do want to pat myself on the back a little bit for this one. I've had this predicted since around January 6th. It's just something that always felt right, even though I love Timothée Chalamet and I would love him to win the Oscar. I want him to win the Oscar. SAG going to Michael B. Jordan for this movie felt like such a celebration of him as a person. He's so likable. His peers love him. Did you see that room when he won? From Viola Davis on stage to the entire crowd. It was the most electric, powerful win of the night, and that leads me to believe there might be something here. I say that because that room was so strong last night that how on earth could I see that and predict somebody else for the Oscar besides Michael B. Jordan? I say that because he's really just going to win SAG. He's just going to win SAG. That doesn't feel That doesn't feel like the case. Now, I know there's counters. I know the counter is, well, listen, they gave Chalamet the award last year, and were they going to give a 30-year-old back-to-back wins? That was my argument for not predicting Timmy. BAFTA didn't go for him. They clearly liked Robert Aramayo too. But listen, as much as I love Timmy, I don't think that room is going as crazy if he wins. I think him and Marty Supreme might have ran out of gas here. The next take for people, which would be really cool, don't get me wrong, is a Wagner Moura win, but he's got Globe. I'm still here as in Best Picture, but am I really thinking the Academy voters this week are going to see what happened with Michael B. Jordan, see the Sinners ensemble win that we're going to get to, and then when it gets to Best Actor, go Wagner Moura? It doesn't make sense to me. I slept on it. I've thought about it. It just feels like I keep trying to think of like now, like Ethan Hawke is going to come out of nowhere and just win the Oscar. It doesn't work. It feels like Chalamet or Michael B. Jordan. I'm happy to be wrong, but at this point, we saw this with a film like Coda a couple years ago, when you feel like the room is turning one way and you see such an embrace of someone winning. I think you just have to stick with it. I would rather stick with Michael B. Jordan in predictions and be wrong and then be like really happy that somebody else won. Falls in this camp for me of like, it's not my favorite performance in the category. I think he's really good. I think he's great. And I think he should have had an Oscar nomination by now. So the fact that Michael B. Jordan was even nominated, but now he's a SAG Award winner for this movie is so cool. And it feels really fitting and appropriate. And for him to win the Oscar for Sinners, I'm sitting there going, okay, well, at one point it looked like he was just going to win score, an original screenplay, maybe casting. If PTA is winning picture and director, what? Like, they're not going to reward Michael B. It makes sense. Now let's give Michael B. actor. And then it really looks like this one battle Sinners are splitting these major awards. I'm seeing the vision. And so I think for the Oscar, I would just say predict Michael B. Jordan. And if something else happens, admit you got swept up in the moment, and that's okay. But I'll be honest, I would rather be caught up in the moment and like a part of this wave just to see if it happens. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. I say this as a big Chalamet fan. Like, I was really on his train. I really wanted him to win. I still do, but I think they are going to make him wait after all. And I think the press tour and the lead up and everything he's doing for the award right now, the career retrospectives, maybe he ran out of gas and it's the moment for one battle in Sinners. And then Sinners takes Ensemble. And like, of course, that was going to be the award tonight too, especially after Jordan won. It's like, there's no doubt that Sinners has this, but this was going to be Sinners night. SAG likes history. SAG likes these really special casts, the performance with Miles Caton and everybody. I mean, that was awesome too. So it really was Sinners night, which was really cool to see. And that made it a very memorable SAG Awards. Now, what do we do in Best Picture predictions? What do we do? Well, listen, one battle, one PGA, and a lot of people, including me on Saturday night, were like, it's over. It's one battle, of course. Sinners needed to win here. And then the phrase being thrown around, even if Sinners win SAG tomorrow, it's going to be one battle. Even if Sinners wins SAG tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. Even if Sinners win SAG, blah, blah, blah. And then Sinners won SAG, and we see it, and we feel it. And you look at the room, and you feel the energy, and you go, well, I still think it's safe to predict one battle. In fact, a lot of people will predict one battle. It's got DGA, PGA, ACE, Golden Globe, Critics' Choice, BAFTA. It hasn't lost anything. It has the package that quite literally has never lost. Here's the other thing though. Sinners has ACE, WGA, and now SAG Ensemble. That combination has never lost to my mind either. So it really does feel like a coin flip. And I think momentum after SAG, there's voters voting this week. I know many of them were swayed by SAG. I know many of them are going to go Sinners and Michael B because of that. Just, will it be enough? Will enough people do that? I'm going to say this. I'm just trying to ride the momentum. It feels good to ride the momentum. Let's take stats out of it. I think a more gutsy but a stronger prediction is to go with Sinners in Best Picture. What a night though. Very fun night. Probably the most fun night of award season, and the season has gotten more fun as it's went on. I think it's significantly better than last year. Please, in the comments below, I would love your opinions on SAG. Stay tuned for an Oscar prediction video and some more awards content both on here and on my TikTok. We're so close. As always, please make sure you're liked and subscribed here on my TikTok, and please be checking out moviearcher.com. There's a lot of amazing things happening over there. And I will see you all very, very soon.